Alright, I mentioned in the previous video that we were going to practice Le Chatelier's principle, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through some different scenarios and determine which way our equilibrium will shift. So the first thing that I want you to notice is our delta H is negative, okay? This means exothermic, okay? Whoops. That means energy, usually in the form of heat, is being released. So I go to my product side because I know an exothermic means that heat's being released, and I put plus heat, or you can put temperature there, whatever you can put, plus 92 kilojoules per mole, whatever. Okay, because we know that negative, all that means is exothermic. Okay, and so heat is being released. So I think of heat as a product. Okay? So if I increase the temperature, then that means I'm increasing the heat here as a product. And so if I increase on the right, I shift to the other side. That's what Le Chatelier's principle says. It's like a balance here. If you increase on one side, you shift to the other, because that's how it's going to relieve stress. And that Le Chatelier's principle states that you're going to shift in a way to relieve stress. So if we increase on the right, we shift to the left. Now if we decrease the temperature, that means we're losing heat, we shift to the side of the loss. And since heat is on the product side, we shift to the right. We shift towards it. Okay? If we increase pressure, okay, when you increase pressure, we haven't talked about gases really, but you decrease the volume. So think about if you press on a balloon or something, you're decreasing the volume. Okay, and that's what's occurring here. But if we increase pressure, we have to know we shift to the side of fewest moles. Okay, so here I have 4 moles total. Just look at your coefficients, and then I have 2. So we're going to shift to the products because I only have 2 moles, and that's what my rule states. Okay, if I increase the concentration of hydrogen, okay, if I increase on the left, I shift to the right, shifts over. Okay. Right. If I decrease the concentration of ammonia, so that's my product. Okay, if I decrease, then I shift to the side of the loss. So I shift to the same side, therefore I shift to the right. I shift to the product side. Okay. And I just threw this one in here just to be sure and tell you this, but we learned about catalysts in a previous video. These speed up a reaction, okay, so they will make a reaction faster, but they do not shift equilibrium. So they can't make more product or more reactant because they speed up the reaction of the forward and the reverse reaction. So it doesn't really do anything or help with the equilibrium. Okay, the equilibrium, we're looking at the concentration. So how much more do we have of product versus reactant, or vice versa. Okay, now we're just going to look at pressure just for practice here in all of these equations. Okay, and we're going to increase pressure. And like I said, this means we decrease volume. Okay, if we increase pressure, our rule says that we shift to the side of fewer moles. All right, this one's sort of interesting because I have 2 moles on the left and 2 on the right, so I have equal. So if I increase pressure, this is not going to disturb my equilibrium. It has no effect because it's not going to shift either way because there's equal moles on both sides. Okay, here I have 5 and 4, I have 9 moles, and I have 10. So I'm going to shift to the side of the fewer moles, which would be the left, or the reactants. So left is reactants, right's products. Okay, I have ones, I have 2, and just 1. So here, if I shift to the side of the fewer moles, I'm going to shift to the right. I have 3 moles and 2. So I'm going to shift to the side of the fewer moles when I increase pressure. I'm going to shift to the right. Okay, if this practice problem had said decrease, then we would get the exact opposite of these answers, because then we would shift to the side of the more moles. So if you look here at B, if it had said decrease pressure, we would have shifted to the right, because we shift to the side of the more moles. All right, I hope this practice helps, and I'll see you soon.